The first day of senior year was supposed to be different for Aanya Khan. She had spent the entire summer reinventing herself. No more oversized hoodies to hide in, no more lowered gaze and whispered answers in class. Aanya had joined a martial arts academy, trained every morning at 5 a.m., and pushed herself harder than she ever had. But not because she wanted revenge, she just wanted peace. Yet peace was never an option in a school ruled by chaos, especially when that chaos had a name, Priya Batra. With her gang of rich, overconfident sidekicks, Priya thought she ran the school, and in many ways, she did. Teachers feared her family's power, the principal looked the other way, and students either joined her or avoided her. Aanya had done the latter, but this time, she walked into school with her head high. She wore a simple fitted kurta and jeans, hair neatly tied, books in her arm, and a quiet confidence that made people turn twice. She didn't mean to attract attention. But confidence has a way of drawing eyes. That alone made her a target. As the morning assembly gathered under the blaring sun on the open school ground, students grouped into neat lines. Teachers took their posts. From the elevated stage, the principal droned on about discipline and success while students half listened, checking their phones or whispering gossip. Aanya stood still, focused, ignoring the faint murmurs behind her. Until the whisper turned into a shove. A sharp elbow nudged her side. She staggered but regained balance, glancing back to see Priya's smirking face. Oops, Priya chuckled, loud enough for others to hear. A few giggles followed. Aanya stayed silent. Another nudge. Another laugh. And then, without warning, a loud, echoing slap. Priya's hand landed square on Anya's cheek in front of the entire crowd, over 200 students, teachers, and staff watching. The sound was so loud it silenced even the principal. The moment froze. Every eye turned toward them. Anya's face reddened, not from the slap but from the shock. Her cheek stung, but not as much as her heart. She didn't cry. She didn't fall. She simply looked at Priya with a gaze so piercing that even Priya's smile wavered. Say something, Priya sneered, unsure now. Anya's jaw clenched. She turned back toward the stage, lifted her hand calmly, and said, "Sir, I would like to say something before the school." The principal hesitated. The crowd was murmuring. "This is highly," he began. "Please," Aanya said. Her voice calm. Her cheeks still red. The principal nodded. Aanya stepped up on the stage slowly, her every step followed by hundreds of stunned eyes. She took the mic and inhaled. "I was slapped just now," she said. The audience fell into a deeper silence. By someone who has bullied not just me, but others. But this isn't about the slap. She scanned the crowd. This is about what we allow. About fear. About silence. I won't retaliate with violence, not today. But I will respond. Then she turned to Priya, still in the crowd. I challenge you, here and now. 1 week from today. A school-wide debate. You bring your words, I'll bring mine. You show the school who you really are, and so will I. Gasps. Whispers. Priya scoffed, you want to talk your way out of this. You think anyone cares? But she was cornered now. The school was watching. And they were no longer laughing. Fine, Priya spat. Prepare to be humiliated. From that moment, the tide shifted. Anya's mic drop moment traveled fast. Across WhatsApp groups, Instagram reels, and school gossip circles. Students began to approach her secretly. I've seen her bully others too, some said. It's time someone stood up. Even teachers whispered quiet encouragements. For the next 7 days, Aanya prepared like her life depended on it. She studied every school rule, policy, record of Priya's influence, and most importantly, she practiced her words, measured, powerful, unstoppable. She trained her body too, waking up before sunrise to center her mind with martial arts, not for revenge, but strength. The entire school buzzed with anticipation. The day arrived. The school auditorium filled beyond capacity. Even parents showed up, curious to witness what had become a school legend. 2 chairs, 2 mics, 1 moderator. Aanya walked in with steady steps, wearing the same kurta, now ironed, clean, and bold. Priya walked in with makeup, designer clothes, and a forced smile. The crowd roared. The debate began. And that's when Aanya opened her mouth and changed everything. The atmosphere in the auditorium was electric. Phones were out, live streams had already begun, and students whispered excitedly, unsure whether they were about to witness a public humiliation or a historic moment. Priya Batra sat across from Aanya Khan, legs crossed confidently, her usual smirk plastered across her face. The moderator, a stern literature teacher known for fairness, cleared his throat and announced, "This debate will be judged by a panel of teachers and monitored by student representatives. The topic is, influence versus integrity, what truly defines a leader in school life?" Each participant has 5 minutes for an opening statement. The spotlight hit Aanya first. She stood. Her hands were steady. Her heart, however, thundered. But she smiled. Influence is loud, she began. It demands attention, bullies others into silence, and often hides behind money, fame, or fear. But integrity? It's quiet. Until it isn't. It shows up in moments of truth. Like when someone gets slapped and ch. Priya rose, rolling her eyes. That was cute, she sneered. But this is high school, not a TED Talk. Leadership is power. And I have it. People follow me, not because they're forced to, but because they want to. They like me. And I'm not the villain here, just someone who knows how to win. Her tone was snarky, but there was a tremble in her voice she hadn't meant to show. The crowd clapped half-heartedly. For once, her words didn't land like they used to. The next hour was a battlefield of words. The moderator asked hard questions. What would you do to stop bullying? How do you define respect? Have you ever abused your influence? Aanya answered every one with authenticity, sharing stories of students who confided in her since the slap, of teachers who had looked away for too long. Priya fumbled, deflected, even snapped once when asked about a viral video of her mocking a janitor. The audience noticed. The tide was turning, and fast. Then came the final question. The moderator asked, "What do you want your legacy to be in this school?" Aanya stood one last time. "I want to be remembered not as a girl who got slapped, but as the girl who stood tall after. I want students who suffer in silence to find their voice. If one person in this room walks away believing they can rise above bullying, then I've already won." Thunderous applause erupted. Some students stood. Even teachers wiped their eyes. Priya didn't answer the question. She didn't have to. The silence said enough. The panel announced the winner, Aanya Khan. The hall exploded with cheers. Cameras flashed. Students rushed to her. And Priya? She stormed out of the auditorium, defeated not by fists, but by truth. But this story didn't end there. What happened next turned Aanya into a symbol far beyond her school. The video of the slap and the debate went viral online. News outlets picked it up. #VoiceOverViolence trended for days. Aanya was invited to speak on youth panels, school reform discussions, and even got a scholarship from a human rights organization. The school administration, under pressure, launched a full anti-bullying campaign. Aanya became its ambassador. Priya was suspended for a month and stripped of student council privileges. Her gang dissolved. Without fear to hold them together, they scattered. But Aanya didn't let the fame consume her. She used her platform wisely. She created a club where bullied students could come and share. She even invited former bullies to join in healing conversations. Her message was clear: strength wasn't about retaliation, it was about transformation. On graduation day, she stood at the podium once again, this time as valedictorian. "If silence was my prison," she said, "then truth became my key. And if you're still hiding behind fear, know this, you're stronger than you think. Speak. Stand. Rise." As she stepped off stage, hundreds of students stood and clapped, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. They didn't just see a girl who had been slapped. They saw a leader. A legacy. And now, if you're watching this story and you've ever been silenced, shamed, or hurt, remember Aanya. Remember her calm. Her courage. Her comeback. Hit that subscribe button to support stories that speak up. because sometimes, a voice is the most powerful weapon of all.